Welcome to Plot 27. This video covers the storyline of the 2025 thriller movie, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. The story begins with a family, Caitlyn and her two children, Emma and Josie. A driver angrily honks because Josie's stroller rolled into the street, and Caitlyn tells her husband Miguel about the incident. She mentions that there should have been a stop sign in front of their house. Caitlyn is shopping at the farmer's market when she runs into one of her clients, Polly. Previously, Caitlyn, who is a lawyer, helped Polly with her rental housing problem, but the landlord still evicted her because she couldn't pay the increased rent. Polly mentions that she used to be a babysitter and applies for a job to take care of Josie. Caitlyn tells Miguel that Polly has recently gone through a tough time, and they do need a babysitter. Caitlyn then calls a woman named Rosanna to get more information about Polly. Rosanna says that Polly is a good babysitter and even considers her part of the family. After getting the information from Rosanna, Caitlyn hires Polly to take care of Josie. Caitlyn takes Polly to the kitchen, explaining that she doesn't buy formula because Josie is allergic to sugar. Caitlyn also has been taking antidepressants since giving birth to Josie. That day, Caitlyn leaves for some errands and leaves Josie with Polly. When she returns, Caitlyn notices that the stop sign in front of her house has been damaged and a speeding car nearly hits her. Polly's babysitting shift ends in the evening, and before leaving, Caitlyn and Miguel invite her to dinner. Emma screams and complains, feeling that Caitlyn is too strict. Caitlyn tells Polly that Emma has been like that since she was a baby. She always screams when Caitlyn puts her down. Polly takes Emma to basketball practice and gives them cookies, even though Caitlyn had forbidden it. At home, Polly plays with Josie and seems to be flirting with Miguel while Caitlyn cooks in the kitchen. Miguel helps Caitlyn cook, and while they chat, Polly secretly adds something to Caitlyn's dish. That night, Caitlyn and Miguel host a dinner with friends, Stuart and his girlfriend Bethany. Polly leaves to stay with Emma, and later that night, Caitlyn wakes up vomiting. Emma experiences the same symptoms, and everyone in the house, including Josie, is poisoned. At the hospital, Caitlyn feels guilty for causing everything. Polly plans to move out of Los Angeles due to the high rent, but Caitlyn asks her not to leave. After returning home, Polly stays at Caitlyn's house. When Caitlyn and Miguel leave, Polly's behavior toward Josie changes immediately. She ignores Josie's crying. Caitlyn finds an empty formula bottle in the trash and confronts Polly about it. Polly says she gave Josie formula because Josie refused to drink breast milk, and she pretends not to remember that Caitlyn said Josie shouldn't have sugar. While cutting Emma's hair, Polly mentions she has a younger sister named Olivia. Caitlyn calls her doctor and says she has been reacting strangely to her medication. Caitlyn begins to suspect Polly, but Miguel tells her to calm down. In fact, Polly has secretly switched Caitlyn's medication. Caitlyn and her family watch fireworks, and afterward, Caitlyn panics when a firework goes off in Emma's room. Polly had brought fireworks home, thinking it would be fun. Caitlyn is furious and kicks Polly out. That night, Caitlyn thinks Polly deliberately tried to harm Emma, but Miguel insists it was an accident and worries Caitlyn might be wrong. Caitlyn changes her mind and goes to meet Polly at a hotel, apologizes, and asks her to return home. Caitlyn and Stuart watch workers installing a stop sign. After hearing Caitlyn's story, Stuart offers to help her investigate Polly. Stuart goes to Polly's room, but Polly suddenly appears and dislikes Stuart being there. After getting Rosanna's address, Caitlyn visits her. Rosanna reveals that Polly hasn't answered her calls for a long time and is actually a drug addict. Caitlyn is angry because Rosanna lied about Polly having cared for her child. Rosanna explains she felt sorry for Polly living in her car and being abused by her boyfriend. As a therapist, she promised to help Polly recover, but Caitlyn remains angry, believing Rosanna's lies endangered her children. Stuart managed to find important information and invited Caitlyn to meet. It turned out that Stuart had found a news article about a fire that had claimed the lives of 3 residents. Caitlyn tells Miguel that Polly never worked as a babysitter, but Miguel refuses to listen. Meanwhile, Stuart invites Polly to his house. Polly sees the news article and the victims were her parents and sister. Stuart also discovers Polly's real name is Rebecca, and she grew up in San Bernardino, just like Caitlyn, whose real name is Jennifer. Polly was 7 years old at the time of the fire. She claims Jennifer killed her parents and sister, and afterward, Jennifer's parents changed her name to Caitlyn. Stuart urges Polly not to seek revenge on Caitlyn, but Polly suddenly attacks him. Seeing Stuart call the police, Polly brutally beats him. Bethany calls Caitlyn, informing her that Stuart is seriously injured. Caitlyn rushes to the hospital, leaving Miguel to watch Emma and Josie. At the hospital, Bethany explains that Stuart's jaw is shattered. Caitlyn tells the police that Stuart was investigating Polly, but the officers, nurses, and even Bethany leave. Caitlyn packs Polly's belongings and orders her to leave. Seeing Polly holding Josie, Caitlyn tells her to stay away and attacks her. Caitlyn accidentally hits Emma and cries from guilt. Caitlyn is forbidden from seeing her children because she is deemed a danger. When she goes to take her medication, she realizes it wasn't antidepressants, but drugs. Caitlyn finds Miguel taking Emma to basketball practice and apologizes to Emma. Emma shows Caitlyn a news article about the fire she found in Polly's room. She suggests Polly tried hard to become part of their family because she is an orphan. Caitlyn returns home and confronts Polly, calling her by her real name, Rebecca. Miguel is confused because he can't reach Caitlyn and hurriedly takes Emma home. Caitlyn apologizes for everything that happened. She explains that she once told the school and Polly's parents that her father abused her, but no one believed her. That night, Polly recalls seeing Caitlyn terrified and escaping her burning home. At 7 years old, Polly watched her father burn to death. Polly is furious for losing her parents and infant sister. Caitlyn says she wasn't lying because Polly was often abused by her father. Caitlyn hoped they could be like sisters. Polly suddenly breaks a glass and stabs Caitlyn. They fight, and Caitlyn pushes Polly unconscious. Caitlyn rushes to rescue Josie, while Polly regains consciousness. As Caitlyn drives away with Josie, Polly tries to smash the car window. Seeing the garage door open, Caitlyn speeds off, throwing Polly into the path of an oncoming car. Caitlyn and Josie survive, while Polly dies from severe injuries. Caitlyn cries at Polly's body, but accepts it as necessary to protect her family. At the end of the movie, Emma is with Josie, telling a story Polly once told, and the movie ends. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for the next movie storyline.